It's unstable topic with Sarah and Maggie.
Hey, bestie.
Bestie.
I have to tell you something. This is a big anxiety of mine and a huge failure. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I still have thank you cards for our guests that I haven't officially mailed.
Mm-hmm.
And right answers mostly. Claire and Tess sent us a thank you note that I received yesterday before my thank you note made it to them. And I'm telling you with the premise of it's been a sinking feeling in my stomach for 24 hours. And I needed to share it with you because they're so dang delightful. Had so much fun with them in our last episode. And I just have their thank you note by my door. And I could give you excuses like I didn't have my van. I'm not driving past the post office. I could give you those, but really it's one of those things that like I kept looking at them and thinking, I need to put those in the mail. And then I kept not doing it. And now I'm just embarrassed, ashamed.
So,
And I had to tell you.
thank you for being.
I had to tell you. I had to get it off my chest.
Thank you
And thank you for receiving this without anger or disappointment. Thank you for still being my best friend.
Well, I appreciate you being open and honest with me.
Thank you.
I am curious to know why you couldn't just put them in your mailbox for your postman to pick up for you.
Well, that's one of the things is that my postman who comes is the worst postman in America. And he doesn't come till 7 p.m. He sometimes drops the wrong mail in my mailbox. He sometimes doesn't even pick things up because he's like, I don't know, he doesn't want to put them in his bag. He's not reliable. So I do need to drive it to the post office,
Okay.
which is around the corner from my house. I could walk there.
Okay.
But I did not.
Is this a moment where we need to have an honest heart-to-heart conversation and be like, Maggie, do I need to take this responsibility off your plate?
No, I don't think that's it. I think it's just do you ever have those things where you're like, why can't I do this simple thing? Where it's like, I just can't, I just like avoiding it for some reason. That's what it was. I was just like, it was like something that I just like couldn't do in the last couple weeks.
Yes.
You don't have that?
Kind of. So I'll have those moments and then my brain immediately clicks on. It's like, Sarah, it's going to take you 5 seconds. Just do it and you won't have to think about it ever again. And
Yeah,
so
that's a good thing for your brain to do.
But it also then makes me not be able to just sit until all of the things are done. Like right now, I have clothes in the back of my car that I need to donate. And they've been there for like 3 days. And I legit forget about them until the moment I open my trunk. I'm like, I just need to swing by and drop these off. So it's going to bug me until it's done. But once it's done, it's like this huge weight has been lifted off my shoulder.
I know. And it's like, I know
but I will say
that it's going to be a weight
Maggie,
off your shoulders and mine.
This impacts our business.
It does.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know.
So look, I'm not going to write you up about this. I'm not going to put it in your file because you were honest and open with me about it.
I want it to be up front.
And I appreciate that. But just know if you need help, ask.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I appreciate this. Mm-hmm. This was good. Thank you for coaching me. You're a true leader, a true boss is one that walks alongside their
Hey, are we getting to
peers.
A fact in here, Maggie?
Yeah, I do. I have a fact. I don't know if you're...
Were you trying to transition? Was that a transition segue?
Yeah. The transition is like, I feel like you've really carried me through this problem.
Okay.
Which brings me to the fact.
Okay.
Buckets have been around since the 6th century BC, carrying and holding liquids of all kinds. But it wasn't until the Romans needed an easy way to move their wine that handles were added to make the bucket more transportable.
That blows my mind for a couple of reasons. One, it took someone gluttonous to be like, I need handles from my wine instead of we've built these pyramids because that was before. I'm not going to put bucket handles on these buckets because we have enslaved people to carry these buckets full of like mud and dirt. But now you're talking about my wine and me carrying it. Oh, I'm going to need a handle.
Yeah, that's
know?
exactly it. People were like, why would we need a handle? We've got hands. And then they're like, I know, because sometimes people need a little help. And also, my wine is so hard to carry. I don't want to splash any.
Oh my
This
gosh.
wine.
Of course it was the Romans with their wine.
A bucket of wine to me just feels like a fruit fly trap, though.
Yeah, but we're also thinking about Roman times where people died of food-borne illnesses quite often. Like the amount of parasites in food and like poop.
Yeah.
From
And their
like
Roman
their
baths.
baths. I'm like, fruit flies or the wine were probably like the least of their concerns.
That's true. Just kind of like they kind of gross all
Yeah,
over.
They're sweaty. They're just eating turkey legs.
Ugh.
You know, that's my envision of Romans that have buckets of wine. They're like in this garb and like these gold headbands and eating a turkey leg, not having a napkin, wiping the juice on their sleeve.
Drinking straight out of the bucket.
Yeah,
It's like the
yeah.
original keg stand. Instead of putting it in your goblet, some guy's like, oh, watch this. I'm going to
Mhm.
shotgun this bucket of wine.
And then he dies because that wine is rancid.
Yeah. But what is wine if not rancid grapes that,
Hey, fair
that
enough,
we just
Maggie.
enjoy?
Fair enough.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, are you ready to react?
Yeah.
So Romans added handles to buckets to make moving wine easier. What's something that makes your life easier? Like the thing that you've purchased or something that just has made that you look at and you think, that makes my life so much easier.
In this moment, this little magnet clip for the back of my phone to sit on the computer has made my life easier because I don't need a tripod for the camera.
That was a good find.
That was
a good find.
That was a good find. That makes my life easier. Water cups with lids.
Did you get those at Walmart?
I did not.
Where'd you get that? Because I have one like that I got at Walmart. It's like a 5-pack for $5 or something. And it's just...
This one is Target 5-pack for $5. But I also got some from Amazon that have a little glitter in them.
Oh, well, that's just... That's one of those things that's like, it brings you joy.
It brings you joy.
You know?
It brings me joy.
Because... Let me tell you this real quick. The handles on the buckets that the Romans built weren't just like little plastic beach bucket handles. They were decorative. I'm sure they brought lots of joy. They had like faces on them or leaves. So it was
okay.
Part of it was also this like, this is nice to look at.
Okay,
I'm
going to stop you. I'm going to say that's a waste of time. If I was a bucket handler maker and people are like, I want this wine bucket to be gorgeous because I'm carrying it, I'm like, I'm wasting a lot of time where I can make lots of handles for buckets that are functional and practical over a decorative handle just for you. Like, you got a whole bunch of people here living in poverty. You know, maybe we focus on that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can have both.
More buckets, less decorative.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with an art piece. Nothing wrong with that. I love art. Art is fantastic. Part of our world is art. Don't come at me with your need for art on a functional item like a bucket and romanticize. I mean, could you imagine being the bucket handle maker guy and this guy comes down and is like, Charles, I have a big project for you. See that wine bucket over there? I need it to have a handle. You're like, got it. I'm on it. I can do it. But Charles, there's more. I need you to spend your months and your nights and your days making it beautiful. But we have lots of buckets. I don't care if there are lots of buckets. It is just one bucket I want you to use as inspiration so that when I get my wine, or rather when you get your wine for me, you're filled with joy.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he got paid more for that project though, and he was excited about it, you know? Or he wasn't paid at all. I don't know much about Roman handle makers. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows, honestly? Who
knows?
could ever possibly know that? We weren't there.
No.
We weren't even there.
What's something
I was just thinking because you have cups with glitter, so you do like functional things with a little pizzazz.
Honestly, I didn't know the cups were going to have glitter. I just purchased them because they were the most affordable, and ever since being pregnant, I drink more water if it has a straw.
Oh, 1,000%. Have you seen the Stanleys?
Yes.
I mean, obviously you've seen them.
Yes.
Have you considered
A Stanley?
purchasing a Stanley?
I mean,
Yeah.
sure, I would love if Stanley gave me one. But honestly,
Yeah.
I have something that it does the same thing. Carries water, has a lid and a straw. Doesn't have a handle, which is fine because I have hands.
You sound like a pre-Roman bucket carrier right now. We've reached the point in our program where we must thank our Patreon supporters. Unstable Topics may not have a Patreon or any paid subscribers, but that won't stop Sarah and Maggie from pretending they do in this game of make-em-up, starting with a randomly generated name.
Okay, Maggie, I am going through our Patreon list, and I just have to point out this person real quick. Her name is Beatrice Taiga. Beatrice Taiga, and she has written us. She's a new member. She's a new Patreon. Thank you for supporting independent podcasters, Beatrice. And she just wanted to let us know that she's a fan, and personally, specifically says that she's waiting on her level reward. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, just reading this for the first time. It says the tier that she signed up for Patreon is one of those tiers, Maggie, that we said we would send out swag.
Thank you notes.
Yeah. And it looks like she hasn't received her swag yet.
Yeah. Beatrice, thank you. This is so timely because I am going to the post office today.
See, Beatrice?
Today, I'm going, Beatrice, and I was going to before I even knew that you were waiting on your swag because, as discussed earlier, I made a mistake. Didn't send thank you note, and I have it written. It's here. It's done. Just like your swag is here. It's done. And so it's just like this is kind of just like another reminder, a pile on from the universe of like you really messed it up. You really screwed the pooch, Maggie. But don't worry, Beatrice. We appreciate your patronage.
Beatrice, we do appreciate your patronage because it's what keeps us going. We do it for the fans, and we say thank you to our fans literally through thank you gifts that we send out in a timely manner.
In the mail. So thank you for writing us, because this now creates a dialogue, really. Like now, before it would have just been like one-sided, we send a thank you note, but now it's like we're in communication. So really this is an elevated experience, I would say.
And I hope, Beatrice, this doesn't tarnish the way you look at our podcast because of Maggie.
Right. No.
It
is called Unstable Topics.
That's fair.
I do
it's
think
in the title. It's in the title. You know,
sometimes it's a little unstable. You don't really know what you're gonna get.
I'm here as her best friend to vouch for her, to know that Maggie's a great person and has the best of intentions, even when sometimes it's just hard to get things done, even when we know that they're supposed to get done in a certain period of time. Sometimes life is just hard, and getting to the post office can be a challenge.
It can be. So thank you, Beatrice. We appreciate you.
Please keep supporting independent podcasts like Unstable Topics. And please let us know when your swag gets in the mail.
Yeah, just you can just let me know. You don't have to tell Sarah. You can just let me know because I'll know that I shipped it. You don't have to let her know the timing of it.
And here's the thing. Gonna be just because Maggie didn't get it in the mail, she does respond in a timely manner to messages. This is not a reflection of her character.
No. Sarah, are you ready for a fact?
I am so ready for a fact.
Though popular in Italian restaurants, the Caesar salad was not created in Italy. It was first made in Tijuana, Mexico in the 1920s. The creator, Alex Cardini, served it at his brother Caesar's restaurant, hence the name of this delicious appetizer.
I had no idea. What a delightful story, in fact, that is.
Right?
I love that.
And you would think Caesar salad has some sort of like Caesarean roots, but
Right?
it doesn't.
It's Mexican.
Yeah.
That's
After
fantastic.
just a big old brother named Caesar. Or maybe little brother. I actually don't
I
know
don't know.
the birth order of that.
But his brother was like, I'm gonna make you a special dish to serve at your restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And it became this great meal, this great dish. I feel bad for the guy. Who was the guy who invented Caesar salad?
Alex Cardini.
Alex, man. We got to give you more credit. Kudos.
Right?
I feel
And
like
the
we
fact that
should.
it wasn't until the 1920s, like I feel like in my head, I'm like a Caesar salad dates back to Caesar's rule, like
Sure.
the Caesar,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But it's not. It's
It's
just
not.
like a 1920s salad from a restaurant in Tijuana.
But it feels very 1920s now that I know that, because it was such a renaissance period, the 20s, the roaring 20s. Not only was it like women's fashion and liberation and hair was getting shorter, but salads were coming into their own as well. Hence the Caesar salad. It should be called
Did
the
you know
Alex
too?
salad. I mean,
It should be.
we should just change it.
Well, it had a different name at the restaurant, but
Oh.
people referred to it as the Caesar salad because it was the famous salad of that restaurant.
That's interesting. So I guess somebody went there in the 20s, loved the salad, and then brought it back to their restaurant.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, this is the Caesar salad. This is after the Caesar's restaurant
Now,
salad.
you do know that a traditional Caesar salad has anchovies in it.
And raw eggs.
I did not know about the raw egg part.
Or maybe it's raw anchovies.
Google
I feel
it.
like it's raw eggs.
It could be both. It's a very
Because I
1920s
think...
thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
What does Google say?
Yeah, raw eggs. And that's why it was actually for a brief period, the Caesar salad was outlawed in California.
Interesting. Is it the raw egg part of the dressing?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it was? Not just
Yeah.
like, I'm going to open a raw egg to your lettuce. But
No,
it
you
was
mix
like,
it up.
mix it up.
It makes the creaminess.
Okay. Okay.
You know, like two egg whites they use in drinks sometimes?
I don't like those drinks.
You don't like those drinks?
No.
Because you know it's egg white,
Yeah.
or because you don't like frothy, creamy drinks?
A little bit of both, but if you tell me it's egg whites, I'm not going to pay $15 for that.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
My brother, when I went to visit last year, had recently gotten really into like this really nice fancy cocktail that involves egg whites, but he just bought the egg white carton, so you don't have to like get your own egg white, and then he just mix it up. It was very tasty. But if that's not
on brand for your
deal,
brother, I feel like that's very on brand for him.
Yeah, he's so fancy.
He seems a little fancy. I've never met your brother.
Guy.
Well, by the time this episode comes out, I would have met your brother for the first time. We have been friends for over a decade. Never met your brother.
I know, because he couldn't make it to the wedding because
he was giving birth.
Him and his wife, my sister-in-law, had a child like 2 days before.
Henry.
You know, Henry.
No, I get that.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to meet him. I feel like you're gonna like my family, my extended.
Of course.
I don't know, it's extended. My fam.
Your family. Your brother is part of
fam.
Your family. Your extended family is like cousins and aunts and stuff. Who I have met some of your aunts and cousins and stuff.
Oh, have
at your wedding and when we went to New York to perform.
Oh yeah, I know those Wreath Mason family is really all over the place. But now I'm bringing my brother to you.
Excited.
My brother and nephew and niece and sister-in-law.
I'm
all coming to meet ya.
I'm ready for it.
Oh,
just like I'm ready for my react.
I was just gonna say. All right, so Caesar salads were invented in Mexico and are now a popular Italian restaurant appetizer. What's a meal from another culture that you make so regularly your family would think you invented it?
That's a really great question. Chocolate chip cookies. My son, Walter, as long as he's been alive, has had chocolate chip cookies from me, and I'm pretty sure he thinks I've created that recipe. For him. He, bless him, he still says if he has a different chocolate chip cookie from somebody else, and I go, how good was it? And he was like, it was good, but not as good as yours, Mama.
Oh, that is so sweet.
That's the
not as good as the original chocolate chip that you invented, Mom.
You invented this recipe. I think that's the only thing. I mean, I don't make a lot of casseroles. So I can't, that I would think that would be like the next thing that they would think I would make, like invented this type of dish.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is something though. I feel like recently Walter's like, oh, he said something that he really liked, and he said it in a way that he thought it was created in our house, and I don't remember what that was. I wish I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
It's one of those things. I would say my kids probably think that we are the only people that know how to make quesadillas. And the way that they like them is 2 corn tortillas, a slice of Colby Jack cheese, put in the microwave for 30 seconds. I will tell you, it is not a quesadilla. But when they go to a restaurant and order a quesadilla, they look at it like, "You idiot, what is this? This isn't a quesadilla. It's hot. It's melty." They don't like the cheese to be melty. It has to be near cold, just warmed enough to stick tortillas together. And yeah, I think they probably think, and in a way, in a twist of fate, I kind of did invent the quesadilla in that way, you know.
The Austin quesadilla.
Mm-hmm.
So now we go to Austin years from now, and they will serve this quesadilla, and they will think it originated from Austin, Texas, but when in fact it was the Austin family.
And there will be a podcast reading facts, and they will say, the Austin quesadilla might be popular in Austin, Texas, but it actually originated from Maggie Reith Austin and her microwave in Dallas.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this episode, we would love a review, subscribe, or for you to share this with a friend you think would like it.
Or all 3 of those things. You can do all 3 and make our day and help us grow.